Come on in. I got my Be Still cup. I like my Be Still cup. Be still and know that I am God. Sometimes that's all you can do. That is all you can do. Whew. So everybody drink. Grab your tea. Hey, Marianne, get in here. Melanie, come on in. Hey, Debbie, it's a good cup of tea. Cynthia, y'all are so sweet. Kaya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ellen Joe, Laura Lee, yeah, come on in. Sarah, that's my granddaughter's name, Sarah. Kathleen, y'all get on in here. Bobby, Debbie, Susan, tea in Oregon. It's noon in Oregon. Y'all get on in here. Tiller, Wendy Tiller, Grace, come on in. So, I'm about to run out of topics, everybody. I have just a very few left. Patty sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, enough for a week. I haven't cut them apart yet, but I will do that in a little bit. I need more topics, y'all. I need more topics. So, post some topics in here. Patty will collect them. She'll send them to me, and I'll get them all printed out. And we will have them. Yep, I've lost some weight. Yep. And Leanne and I are working on a new book, y'all. It's going to be a great book. We're so proud of it. We're working hard, and we're walking the walk and talking the talk. And the people in the Sprint group, go sign up at savingdinner.com/sprint. Get signed up in that group. We work together to help each other, and we have a lot of fun. We got one lady in that group, Bobby. She is getting us all inspired to get moving. She's amazing. So, folks, join us on our journey. I'm tired of living the carousel of crazy. I don't know about y'all. I can't think of enough topics. Patty and I brainstormed 13 pages, and I've already gone through them. Look at this. This is what we've talked about. Look at this. This is every day since April, I believe. I don't know exactly when it started, but that's when I watched a TED Talk. Let me get the book. A TED Talk with William Lee. And he wrote Eat to Beat Disease. And he said if you'll drink tea every day, that it cuts your risk of cancer. Well, it also helps to fight the blood vessels that are feeding your fat. So I thought, well, I need to do that. And then he says 2 to 3 different kinds of tea is even better. And it exponentially increases its ability to get rid of those blood vessels that are feeding our fat. So y'all get some. Love the new outfit. I went shopping in my closet. Some clothes that hadn't fit in a long time, and I put them on, and sure enough, they fit this morning. So send your topics in. I've got my little teapot. I have one topic left in this teapot. I will fill the teapot. Oh no, I dropped the lid to my teapot, but it didn't break. Let me get it before I lose it. Teapot lid. So I've got a topic. Generosity. You know, you can be generous even if you don't have a lot of money. People think that they can't be generous, but you can be. You can be generous with your time. I remember one time for Christmas, I didn't have a lot of money, but I gave my mother the gift of cleaning her china closet, washing her dishes and making them sparkle. And she absolutely loved that. That was my gift to her. Another way you can be generous is with your time. With your time. Just spending time with somebody. And, it doesn't cost you any money to give a compliment to someone. I mean, you don't have to be fake to do it. You can see something good in everybody and compliment them on it. So your generosity starts in here, not with your pocketbook. Generosity starts here. So be kind to others by just recognizing things, recognizing that you can make a difference in somebody's life. I never dreamed I could get online every day, on Facebook, every day, twice a day. I didn't know I could do it once a week on a radio show that you never got to see me. But I started watching Scott Adams, and if you haven't gotten his book and you want to learn some good stuff about getting rid of the negative ways we think, it's called Loser Think, you need to get this book. This is an eye-opening book. I've been listening to him for 2 years, and through him, I realized that me doing a daily video for you, I loved his daily videos. He gets on every single day to talk to us about something. I mean, this week he's been in New York City doing a book tour. And I have been praying for him, even though he's not a believer. But, I still pray for him. And maybe one day he will be. But the main thing is, you got to change the way we think. And we don't have to be locked in our little bubbles. This is what is so good about it. See those bubbles? People locked in their little bubbles of thinking. We have to expand our horizons. That's why you're here, to expand your horizon, to think about things from a little different perspective. Leanne had a great show today at 1 o'clock. It's called Soulful Saturday. And she talked about our dreams and how we can establish, she likes to call them goals. I don't believe in goals, but we can compromise on that. We don't have to think alike to do the same thing. I like to set up systems, establish habits, build routines, and change our life. And we can do this in baby steps. That's why establishing one habit a month was important for us. One habit a month. You love the idea of reusing the topics. Well, all the videos are up. All you got to do is go watch them. So let's drink to being generous. Generous with your time. Generous if you have money, can help others with money. When you hear that urge for you to give $5 to somebody or $2 to somebody or whatever, don't negate those voices you hear, because those voices are not your voice. They are not your voice. They are a voice from the Heavenly Father. Many years ago, I started meditating. And I didn't start meditating to get closer to a higher power. Nope. All I wanted to do was de-stress my life. That was it. Just to eliminate the stress, to calm my brain down, and to center myself. But guess what happens? When you slow your brain down, you get to hear things you've never heard before. It's amazing stuff. When you slow your brain down, you get to recognize the voices that are coming to you and where they're coming from. Yep. That's the Holy Spirit talking to you. And when you feel the urge to deal with something, this is some good stuff. So I'll never forget one time Robert and I were in Boston and we were at the train depot. We were getting ready to get back on a train to come home. And I don't use a meditation app, although there's some great ones out there. I know how to meditate. I've been meditating for almost 30 years. And it's really good. But I heard this little voice inside my head, and it said, give that person $20. I don't know why. But I didn't have $20 on me. But my husband was with me. I said, honey, may I have a $20 bill? He said, well, of course. I said, I had a little voice tell me I need to give that person $20. He said, well, you have to act on it. So I just folded up the $20 bill, took it over to the lady, and handed it to her. That's all I did. And then I turned around. And in my heart, I was blessing her in some form or fashion. And, I never dreamed I'd tell somebody about it. Never dreamed. One time we were flying to St. George, Utah to see Eric and his mom, and I'll never forget it. It was an early morning flight. It was a 6 a.m. flight. That means we had to be at the airport at 4:30 in the morning. If Michelle had gotten the plane tickets, she'd probably got fired, but I bought the plane tickets, so I couldn't be upset. Wasn't anything I could do. And it was go to Atlanta and then go to Salt Lake City. And it was just, we were going to be on the plane a long time. And as soon as we got on the plane, Michelle, my assistant at the time, she just went right back to sleep. But I stayed awake because I wanted to be able to sleep at night. And there was a flight attendant. His name was George. And he was the funniest thing I have ever heard. It was like we had a stand-up comedian in the cabin of this little bitty plane. And I usually keep a hidden $100 bill somewhere in my wallet to be able, in case of emergency. I teach my nieces and nephews that. I always have this $100 bill waiting, in case you need. Really, it's better to have 5 20s than a $100 bill, but you need $100 stashed. But I had a $100 bill. And I'm listening to him, and it's a 30-minute flight to Atlanta from our little Asheville airport. Nope, it's not Southwest. We don't have the ability to get Southwest. And I just heard this little voice in the midst of laughter and tears of laughter. We were laughing hard. And Michelle missed it all because she went to sleep. We got to Atlanta, and when we got off the plane, I just had the $100 bill, and I just stuck it in his pocket as we got off the plane. He knew I was putting something in his pocket. He wasn't doing it for tips or anything. And I said, I need to stop at a phone, and I need to tell Delta that this is a great flight attendant, that he needs to be bragged on. So it didn't cost me anything to go to a house phone and tell Delta that they had a great flight attendant and give him a compliment. We flew all day, another 4 hours and something to Salt Lake City, and then another 2-hour flight to St. George. And we get off the plane in St. George, and I get a phone call from my sister, Patty. And says, what have you done? I said, I haven't done anything. She said, oh, yes, you have. We just got a testimonial. I said, about what? And she says, there's a flight attendant named George. He's a flybaby. And he was talking about being at church on Sunday and giving everything he had in his wallet, which was all the money he had, to eat meals this next week while he was flying all over the country. He said he gave everything he had to third world country Bibles, and God said, I will provide, I will provide, I will provide. And he sent this testimony. He didn't know it was me. He had no clue it was me. People didn't see me then. I wasn't on camera every day. So he sent this testimonial, and my sister gets my email. She answers my email, and he said, I listened to that little voice because my home was in order. My finances were in order. Yeah, it was all I had. It was all I had. But I listened. And because of that, some nice lady gave me $100 that I could eat on this week. This is what happens when you're generous and when you slow your mind down so you can hear those voices. Because as long as your house is pulling at you in 50 different directions, you can't hear the Holy Spirit. You can't hear what God has planned for you because you're too busy, as Granny would say, messing and gumming with your house. You can't hear it. So then the next day or so, I sent George an email and told him that it was me, and he had no idea. He had no idea. God puts people together for a reason. Things happen for a reason. Slow down your brain, and you can hear what God's plan for you is going to be. Whatever, He knows the number of hairs on your head. He knows what you're supposed to be doing. And our perfectionism stops us dead in our tracks. In Scott Adams' book, How to Lose at Everything and Still Win Big, he talks about our perfectionism and how we just have to do one thing. That book of Scott's has really changed a lot of lives because he teaches us how to not get caught up in our perfectionism, which is what I teach, not get caught up in our perfectionism, and to just do one little thing. So for me, I started taking, at dinner, I started taking my little package. I'll have to bring one in here sometime. It's just a little package, little plastic bag of salad dressing, because they use bad oils in salad dressing. Use bad oils in salad dressing and it would make me sick. It would be awful because I couldn't digest those oils. I started doing that one little thing, and then from there, I added a little bitty handful of spinach in a Ziploc bag. Simple. So I've got my little go-to bag for going out to dinner. I probably should just stay home and eat my spinach and stuff, but Robert and I need to get away from my computer. We need to get away from the house and be together face to face. Because when we're at home, he's on his computer, I'm on mine, I'm on my phone, he's on his. When we go to dinner, we put the phones away. We put the phones away. So it's our time together. It's our time together, face to face. So folks, generosity comes in lots of forms. Time, money, and you can be generous with your words, with your actions. Just going over to the Sprint group like Leanne and I do. It's Leanne's salad dressing recipe. It's olive oil and garlic and um, Dijon mustard, a little bit of vinegar. Leanne, you can get it. Go sign up, savingdinner.com/sprint. And she will send you a document, a sprint document, 17 pages. Print it out, read it, join us. You can jump in right now. Even though the Hot Melt Sprint is going on right now, you can do it. Generosity. Leanne has been giving to my ladies since the day we met. Since the day we met. She wanted to do a story about me. She wanted to do a story about me. She came to my house. It snowed flakes this big in April. Sometimes I eat fish. Sometimes I eat chicken. Sometimes I eat hamburger. Last night I had hamburger. I had a nice hamburger, but no bread. I asked for my hamburger to be brought out on a platter, not on a tin plate that would just grate my nerves when I would cut with my knife and fork. So Leanne's recipe for salad dressing is great. Sometimes I make up my own. A few weeks ago I'm a good cook. I can throw things together like you wouldn't believe. But back to Leanne, she came to my house in 2001 and I said, Robert and I go out to eat a lot. I can cook, but I don't cook often. Robert says it's better to have a wife that can cook, that doesn't cook often, than one that can't cook and cooks all the time. So I like to cook Thanksgiving dinner. I like to, if it's nasty out or if it's storming or whatever, I'm going to make a pot of chili or a pot of soup and have fun with it. So starting my before dinner routine, it works for me. I take a little cupcake thing with avocado. That's my good fat. And my salad dressing is my good fat. I have my greens. That's my trifecta. Greens is fiber. Avocado is fat, and so is the dressing. And then I'll order a little piece of meat, a little piece of protein, and I'm good to go. I'll try to show you my plate tomorrow that I like. I don't take my plate with me. I probably should, but my plate is a visualization. I may put it as my screensaver on my phone because it reminds me of what I'm trying to do. Fiber, fat, and protein. Those three things. It's a trifecta. So I can help you get your house in order. Leanne can help you put dinner on the table. And together, we get you thinking about things a little differently. We are the trifecta of your homemaking skills. We are this. She gets dinner on the table. I help you get your house clean so you don't mind cooking. And then together, we change your thinking. We do it. So let's drink to our health and to being generous. Being generous. Because you never know how you're going to change somebody's life when you just do something out of the ordinary. Do something out of the ordinary. Time is precious. It really is. Ben's got 2 more, Sunday and Monday, 2 more full days in prison. 2 more. And Tuesday morning, I'm going to go pick him up. Today he called me. He thought he was running fever. His anxiety level is through the roof. His pain level is through the roof. And I said, I know you're not going to like this, but I want you to thank God for this pain. I want you to thank God for this pain. And he said, Aunt Marla, how do I do that? And I said, because this pain has saved your life. It has saved your life. And he said, well, I am thankful for it. And so he's meditating on being thankful for the pain. And he was having chest pains, and I begged him to go to the clinic and get things checked out. He felt like he had fever. He had a couple people feel his forehead. They don't have a thermometer. They don't. He doesn't know. But he didn't have fever. He's breaking out in a sweat. I don't know why. But as soon as I get his butt out of that prison, we're going to the doctor. We're going to a good doctor. One that's going to listen to him and one that will tell us what to do next. So Ben is my nephew. He's been in prison for 5.5 years. His mother died last summer, a year ago summer, in July of 2018. And he's 38 years old. My sister Dean is having surgery next Friday for breast cancer. So we got a lot on us, but God's got this. He has got this. And I will forever live by Dr. Boz's book. Dr. Boz. Yep, Dr. Bosworth. Annette Bosworth. Any way you can. She saved her mother's life. And I can't wait for Ben to read it. I cannot wait for Ben to read it. Because when you learn to eat this way, you will never, ever put another carb in your mouth. Never, ever. And if you know somebody who is in prison, the food in prison is horrid, y'all. It is horrid. Send them a little money so that they can buy some commissary food. Some packets of tuna, packets of chicken, some good stuff. Send that person a little money. It's called jpay.com. You go sign up. If you know somebody in prison, don't act like they're not there. Don't do that. Send them some phone money. You can do that too. It's just inhumane what they have to go through. And I know they've made mistakes. I know they've made mistakes. But guess what? We're forgiven. He went to prison. He went to the hardest prison in the state of Tennessee. And he's come out a Christian. And he's come out with stage 4 colon cancer. And he lost a lot of his colon. But guess what? He is going to survive this. And this is not to his death. John 11:4 was given to me in a book I read the other day by St. Therese. So give of your time. Give your love to somebody else. Bless somebody if you know somebody in prison. Y'all all blessed Ben by sending him letters when his mom died. You sent him cards at Christmas. You sent him cards for his birthday. You've blessed him by spending a little time writing a little note. If you know somebody in prison, do that. Do something kind. Send prisoners a Christmas card. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be generous. That's all you got to do. Well, I love you all. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Now, Monday, I'm going to head over to my sister Patty's house because it's supposed to snow Monday night. And I don't want to be where I got a 4-wheel drive and I can get up that mountain to Ben. I can do it. I will get up that mountain to Ben. If I have to put it in all-wheel drive to do it, I will get up there. I told him, I said, I just want to come and spend the night in the parking lot so that I can be there. And he just laughed. He said, Aunt Marla, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And he ends every call with, Auntie, I love you. The other night he said it. And he said, you just never know how much I appreciate all you've done for me. I haven't really done anything. I love you all. I got to get myself together. Talk to you later. Bye.